my name is Don, and welcome back to another episode of Follow, my Football Manager Let's Play. Lots to talk about since the last episode when we beat AZ Alkmaar over 2 legs, both on Livecom. I'm going to start with staff transfers. Now, I meant to mention both of these two in the last game. The board initially upgraded my staff allotment back to what it was at the start of last season. So I brought in Steve Marcella, who was a chief scout at Stevenage. Decent looking scout, 16 player ability and potential, and 13 adaptability. So fairly happy with that. For some reason he wanted a goalkeeping contract coach, so it cost me a little bit more money to get him in, but that's fine. Also coming in is Hibs former chief scout Martin Christie. Again, it leaves us with quite a lot of English and Scottish scouts, which I don't want long term, but for now, the market we're in, that is fine. We're still getting some reports from abroad. My chief scout is doing a good job of that. I then went to the board and I said, listen, go and let me have another coach. I pretty much begged them, and I begged them, and I begged them, and eventually they caved in, and I brought this guy in. He's our new defending coach, which should see, once we have a year pass, all our things green, meaning they are the best in the league. If you look at our training, some improvement can be done, particularly on ball control. But right now, Joe Jordan is doing that. Same with shooting. So look to replace Joe Jordan pretty soon, hopefully next year. But I need 2 coaches really to be able to do it. And again, on tactics, but again, Davy Weir's on there now. But if we could get an attacking coach, I could go into that as well. So now that that's done, we can go into the transfer history and have a look at the transfers. All transfers, thank you very much. So we have Michael Devlin coming in. He was the deal in the last one. Cammy Kerr comes in. This was a bit of a nightmare to get. I could have got it done quite a bit cheaper, but it meant loaning him back to Dundee for the season. I think it was about 200k cheaper I could have got it done for. And the reason why I didn't is because Lee Hodgson's away. I will cover that in a minute. So I needed a backup at right back and left back. He can play both. Decent potential on him. Nothing spectacular, but for the price paid and his age, I think he can develop and hopefully become decent. He is also getting currently tutored by James Tavernier, who he shares a personality with, so that's fine. Also bring on Andres Pereira on loan. He can play both centre attacking mid and attacking left mid, which is where we've brought him in for, but again he offers us a good option in the centre. He comes in on a loan fee of 20k per month and 6k a week, I think, wage wise. Yes, that's correct. He was on the transfer list, but there's a reason for that. Again, I'll get through that in a minute. Outgoings. We finally found a loan for Reece Reid. That's a bit of a mouthful. To Morton. They're not paying any of his wages. It's only rotation, but I feel if he only gets any game time, it's got to be far more beneficial than being here because of that determination and work rate issue that he has. Work rate is going up, so hopefully that can continue. Josh Donaldson also away out on loan. Again, no wages being paid by us, but I think a loan's going to be good for him. As you can see, 7 games played so far for Livingston. And they've done actually quite well with the loans last season, so I've got a bit of respect for how they've done it, for how they've treated our loan players in the past. Matt Crooks is sold for 80,000 to Dundee. I think we were paying a bit of wages, 750. Not keen on that, but again, it gets the majority off the wage bill, and long term I think it's a better option. Lewis Vaughan, I didn't really want to loan him out, but Park Thistle came in. They said they'll pay 100% of his wages, and I said give me 5k a month and you can have him. Does take away from some of the striker issue I've got for developing strikers this year. I think I've got about 4 or 5 strikers anyway, at minimum even, to develop behind Joe Garner, and Joe Garner's such an important player for us, as you've seen in the last episode. Got rid of Gilks eventually. Again, that's 5k off the wage bill. To be honest, I'm really happy with that. Wasn't for anything. He's went to Crystal Palace. Briefly before the last episode, Liverpool showed an interest, and then no bid materialised. So when the wanted symbol came up again, I looked. Crystal Palace were there, and I just offered him out. Obviously, they're looking at. They maybe had a backup goalkeeper this year, and they're just looking for any goalkeeper. and the fact that I offered him a goalkeeper for free, they've just snapped him off. Fraser Aird, his contract expires in 8 months. I'm quite happy for that, to be thankful. I tried getting rid of him. I tried, and I just couldn't. And then Dunfermline came in and he said, we'll pay half his wages. And I'm just like, just thank you. Thank you very much. Pay half his wages. I'm happy with that. But Bierman and Attack also out on loan. I don't think either's really going to ever get near the first team. Bierman maybe. Attack maybe, sorry. Might sort of break in as a sort of backup player long term. But other than that, I can't see him being a first team choice ever. Scott Gray, again, I was thinking about keeping him to be a backup for Lee Wallace, but again, I think this loan to Airdrie, will be more than beneficial for him. Zach Rudden, again, I didn't want to loan him out. He is an advanced forward, so as long as we're playing him as an advanced forward, it's fine. 4 games, 2 goals, they're paying us for it, and paying all his wages, and first team football in the championships, probably a good deal for him. 2k a month, that's fine by me, as well as his wages. Scott Roberts, offer came in for him, and I literally said, who is that? And he's got no real potential. Got a 3.5 star maybe, but again, probably just long term be a backup, because I plan on being at least improving that position next season. Or at least having Jordan Thompson, and Liam Burt fight for that position. But again, Zach Rudden's also on loan at Motherwell with Liam Burt, so they're developing a bit of a partnership there. Jack Watterson, one of our regens, also out on loan to Elgin City. Again, he's not got the best determination or work rate, so I don't really mind it. Some first team football will do him good, and again, 6 games on loan already. Aidan Wilson, his contract expires at the end of the season. I tried to get rid of him. Loan was the best I could do. I believe they're paying all his wages, so no, they're not. We're paying 150 towards his wages, but again, that's a lot less than what we will for the last year of his loan. For the last year of his contract, is he actually waiting? No, he's only until January. Ross McCrory, again, only another year on his contract, and they're paying half his wages. So again, he's one of those defenders that could maybe be a backup long term, but I just don't see it. His brother will be first team, but he won't. Dean Brotherston, I've been very unhappy with how he's developed. To be honest, I'm just happy to get the loan out. He's developing a bit more, but he's never going to develop into that left winger that I want. So I think we'll probably just try and sell him on eventually. Lee Hodgson away to Hibs for 50k. I think we're also paying £700. Yeah, we are. We're paying £700 for the next 2 years. That's again unfortunate, but it gets him off the wage bill. Joe Doodoo, I didn't want to loan him out, to be honest with you. I actually genuinely completely forgot him. I'd put him in under 20s because he was on loan last year, so he wasn't in the first team with the blue icon. I think overall it's a good loan. We pay their wages for the duration of the loan, and they pay us 20k a month, so I think that works out that we pay 4k a month to still have Doodoo. But I think overall it's still a good deal. Casey Palmer out on loan. Ayr pay wages for the duration of the loan. Again, I think this is a really good deal. Getting first team football at Ayr. 4 games so far since he's going out, and just look at those arrows. So he's developing really nicely. Determination and work rate was maybe a bit of an off-put, but whatever. Still good enough to go out on loan and maybe compete with Jack Thompson and Jordan Ross at Ayr for that spot next season. Kyle Bradley, also out on loan. Again, he's never going to amount to anything, just gets him off the wage budget. And I believe all his wages are getting paid, that is correct. Jason Crones, again, all his wages getting paid, never going to amount to anything, just off the wage bill, happy days. Semi Ajayi, he came in and I was hoping he'd maybe get a bit of first team football, and then I realised there's about 4 centre defenders ahead of him. Dundee United came in and offered him a loan, again, some arrows going up, including his determination and strength. 1 game played so far, but the loan's only just happened. Loan deal is they're paying most of his wages. I said pay it all. They said no, so I said, well, give me 3.5k a month, which is more than what it would have been if they just paid all his wages. That's until January. Hopefully he can develop during that spell. The last one is Harry Forrester. Now, I didn't really want to make this deal. Harry Forrester was fantastic for us last season, and he was going to be first team again this season. And he came to me and he said, I want a new contract to match the higher earners. And I said, listen, we'll have a discussion. So, opened the tab, went to offer my contract, and his agent said I want 10k a week, and I said no chance. So offered 5. He said, well, I want 9. So offered 6, and 6 was sort of about where my limit was. Excuse me. As you know, I'm trying to reduce the wage bill, and it's just not really working. Because I can't get rid of Barton. Garner's still there, obviously, and I think, but they're the only 2 players above 8k. And the only other one that's on 8k is Rositier, who apart from Barton, they're all key players. And I would consider selling every single one of them because of their wages, if the price was right. So I wasn't paying 8k, and his agent made it quite clear that was sort of where as low as he was going. So I withdrew contracts. He said I broke his promise. As far as I'm concerned, a contract was offered. So he requested a transfer. Now Leeds offered £400 a week, and I think it was 50k a month. Now I said 50k a month. I said 60, a month, and pay the full wages. They said nope. So I said okay then, 100k a month, and the 400 you're saying you'll pay. They said okay, no problem. I think we've gained from that deal. So how that's worked out is we're actually now got Andres Pereira, who, let's compare with Harry Forrester, is fairly similar in ability, slightly worse in the air, same speed, slightly worse physically, worse defending, but that's not a worry with a left winger, slightly worse attacking, better vision, and we get paid 70 grand a month to have this guy. That's the way it works out on wages outgoing and the fees. So we've got this guy for 70k, for profit of 70k a month, and he can develop and be better. That also gives us a year to develop Chris Willock to be an instant replacement at the club and find someone else to come in. I was considering making a bid for a player from Hearts. We just didn't have the budget left. We have 1.1 million left in the transfer budget. The other major thing of note is I went to the board and said, can you expand the stadium? They said, we just can't afford it. I was like, okay, we're filling out a stadium about 96% now, so we're in that range where you can ask. So I went back and I said, can you improve our training facilities? And I'm just trying to find the response to that now. Anyway, the answer was they said yes. I'll just go here. You can see it's going to take about a year to do, and it costs about £2.5 million. In the kitty, we're at 14.5 million. Last year, the outgoings for the whole season was about 12 million, and we've reduced the wage budget, so that should be affordable. Onto the schedule. So the last game we had was the 5-2 win with Joe Garner versus AZ Alkmaar. We then drew in a friendly 0-0 to Spurs, a very good result nonetheless, and again another good money spinner for the club. 6-3 versus Slavia Sofia. This was one of the best games I've ever watched, and one of the most nervous games I've ever been in. Every time they went forward, they looked like they were scoring. Every time we went forward, we looked like we were scoring. Gordon Greer getting a goal in his debut as well. Harry Forrester, another hat-trick from Joe Garner, and Ashley Maitland-Niles scoring his first goal for the club, assisted by Chris Willock. Both obviously coming from Arsenal. Then we had Hibs in the opening game of the SPFL Premiership. Sellout Ibrox. Joe Garner scored, and Vincent Sasso got his first goal for the club. Then we had Sofia away. Jordan Thompson on the score sheet, Joe Garner, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and an own goal. 4-4 draw, again a very good game to watch. Not so much from a manager's point of view, but from a neutral point of view, I could have imagined. I wish I'd gone with the double header for those two over the AZ games, because just such fantastic football being played, attacking wise. And it was just brilliant to watch nonetheless. We do go through 10-7 on aggregate. And then we had Cali Thistle in the Premiership. John McGinn scored one only goal of the game. It was a pretty drab game. And then we lost 3-2 in extra time to St Johnstone in the Scottish League Cup. I played a bit of a rotated team with Bain, Tavernier, Greer, Sasso, Lee Wallace, Jack Thompson, John McGinn, Ashley Maitland-Niles, Jordan Thompson, Chris Willock, and Matthew Knox, who scored a brace on his first game for the club. Said he's already scored for the club because he scored competitively for the youth team. Obviously, the youth team plays in the what's it called, the Wee Cup. we'll call it the Wee Leagues Cup. So the youth team got access to that. So he scored in that. So it wasn't actually his first goal for the club according to the game. Then we got our vengeance, scoring, winning 3-2 in normal time in the Premiership. Just 4 days later. Sorry. Then we got the mother of all draws in the Europa League. Our expectation was to get to the group stage, and we drew Crystal Palace in the last round. I feel like we're unlucky with our draws. We had 2 very tough draws, and I think underestimated Slavia, so I would say 3 very tough draws. I'm not saying there's any easy games in Europe, but I feel there was easier teams we could have played in each round. Anyway, 2 1-0 defeats over those 2 games, and a 1-0 defeat to Dundee in between. Mistake from Greer in the in-between game. It was a brilliant tackle from Sasso. Greer sort of got to it, but he maybe wasn't expecting it to come to him, and it just hit off his shin straight to the striker. Ben couldn't react in time. I think it was after both these, the first at Johnston game. I felt Scott Bain was at fault for every one of these goals. Even the Greer own goal, it was just a deflection off him, and Bain should have got to it. And I was actually going to drop him for this game, but Liam Kelly got injured, and our only other goalkeeper in our squad, currently with Roddy McCrory and Donaldson out, is our 5th choice keeper, who will never ever play a game for the club ever. Then we had Hamilton. Jordan Rossetti getting his first red card of the season. Frustratingly, it was 2 yellows. The second one was needless. I was going to bring him off at half time, and he just made a needless challenge about 10 minutes before half time. Goals from Joe Garner and Chris Willock in the second half got us the 2-0 win though. The Chris Willock goal, ironically, was assisted by Ashley Maitland-Niles off the bench. Today we have Aberdeen, as promised. Part of our 3 away game trilogy, but nonetheless, this is the only one we are recording. So let's get our team sorted out. We're going to have to play... I'm not playing Barton, just no. Jack Thompson, he's not fit enough to start. Sigh. Okay, we're playing Barton. Barton getting his first game of the season, and where's he gone? Okay, I have booped up there a bit. But there we go, Joey Barton, and now Chris Willock will come. How we? Oh yeah. No worries. Who did I just put in there? Semi Jack. Okay. That was me just sort of losing where I was. Pereira will come into the team for his debut. Willock will drop to the bench. Other than that, I think I'm going to go with the same sort of team I've been going with. I've dropped Greer in recent weeks to bring Danny Wilson back in alongside Sasso, both playing as ball-winning defenders now, and I've changed this position to centre mid defend, which I'm finding is getting slightly less cards because he's not getting the heavy tackling. So we're going to make Pereira our number 11. That's been free for a little while, but I just didn't feel anyone was really there to take it, and with Harry Forrester maybe leaving, I was always sort of holding off for that, so that if he did leave, I could bring in a replacement, and the replacement would get the number 11. Both deals happened on deadline day. When the deal eventually came in for Harry Forrester, as soon as that came in, I went and looked in the loan list because I realised I couldn't afford the boy from Hearts I was looking at. There's 2 lads at Hearts that can play that position, so you can probably work out which one of the 2 it is. I did look at both, but we couldn't afford either. Jordan Thompson's got a lot of game time in the absence of Jason Holt. Excuse me. Good ball in from Mackay, but Rogers is there. Jordan Thompson's got a lot of game time in the absence of Jason Holt, and I actually feel he's done okay. He's only scored the 1 goal, but he's been involved in a lot of build-up play for other goals, and he's hit the bar a few times. Keeper's made a good couple of saves against him a few times. So I'm actually pretty positive that Jordan Thompson and Liam Burke can do a job for us in future, or at least in the long term, because I've been impressed with both when they have played. Good header from Wilson. Garner doesn't read it, and O'Connor's going to accept though. Hayes to Rooney. Very dangerous player, Rooney. Vico. McLean. McGinn. Rooney. Straight at Bain. Big chance that for Aberdeen. We just couldn't get near them. But he is struggling in this game for fitness for some reason. I don't know if he maybe took a knock earlier on or if I maybe just missed his fitness at the start of the game and it was lower than what everyone else's was. I probably did, and you were probably all screaming at their screen. He has low fitness, you dafty. Scott Bain also got his first international cap. I'm not actually sure when it happened. I think it was towards the tail end of the season, maybe in a friendly or something. Nonetheless, good for him, but his form since at the start of this season has been absolutely dreadful. I wonder, particularly since we sold Gilks, really, and I wonder if that's been a part of it, that he feels maybe there's not the competition there now, as Adam Rooney sticks one past him. Frustrating goal to concede, but it's just the defenders overran. He's tried to block the sort of pass across goal and not block the cutback instead. It's a shame. Going to have to bring off Jordan Thompson, ain't I? I'll give him till half time. Aberdeen with a throw in deep in our half. Barton takes it straight away and then loses it straight away. That's why I don't want to play Joey Barton this season. He's just not good enough anymore. Just such a basic header. Can't remember us starting a game this poorly this year. Like, the Dundee game was poor, but we're always really dominating it, and despite poor performances from the entire team, we were probably the better team on the day. Oh, it's in behind again. Johnny Hay, it's free. No, it's not. He's put it wide. Team talk. Aggressive. Demand more. This is a blooming derby, for fuck's sake, guys. Excuse the language. This is just me getting frustrated at Football Manager. It's the first win I've had all series, so I suppose it's not too bad. McLean to Hayes, but intercepted by Lee Wallace, who is acting captain. Gordon Greer obviously took the captaincy off him at the start of the season. Andy Halliday was also a better option for captaincy than Lee Wallace, but because Lee Wallace plays more, and plus the fact I still feel like he'll probably take the captaincy back when Greer leaves next season. Oh, McGinn's just walked past him, man. Come on. Lee, how do you not intercept? So many individual errors in that. So many individual errors. I need to show you the league table as well. If we win this, we'll go top of the league, but we need 4 goals now, and it's only our second defeat of the season. Celtic have dropped points as well. We were a point ahead of them going into this game week. They won yesterday. This is the worst performance I've seen from this team since I took over, to be honest. Absolutely shambolic. Gonna bring on Jack Thompson for Barton, and I've got an option for the attacking mid role. Right, so we'll bring on Willock for Thompson and put Pereira in the middle. Poor performance all round, and I think we need to change something. Barton with a 6.0 is just not good enough. Good ball into Willock. I can't do anything with it though. Adam Rooney, who's torn us a new one today, and that's another good ball towards him again. Tavernier just heads it out of play. Allows him to get men back. Can accept that. Normally a bit more passionate about this game, but this is slightly on the embarrassing side. Look at those ratings. 6.3 for Pereira as well. 6.4, 6.5 for Garner even. It went up as I was sort of starting to talk. Pereira, good ball for Garner. Garner will take it. Into Mackay. Can he cut it across? He can. Pereira, a goal on his debut! He won't be on a 6.3 anymore. The man on loan from Man United that we're getting paid 70,000 from Leeds to have in our team has scored. Gets us back in the game at least. We've got a chance now. Going to bring on Maitland-Niles as well for John McGinn. I've been playing Maitland-Niles in a variety of positions. I actually quite like him for that. He can play in this midfield role, he can play attacking right. And obviously, I've only played him for like 20 minutes in attacking left. I'm trying to retrain him there. But he got some minutes there against Crystal Palace when, in the second leg, when it was clear the tie was done. And I just thought I'll bring on players. I think I brought on Jack Thompson to get him some minutes when they got scored from the penalty. And I brought on Maitland-Niles at right wing just to give him some minutes. Left wing, sorry, just to give him some minutes in his new position. Player again. Actually pass it in a direction that you're actually going to get it past someone. Now again, Vico, Adam Rooney, please don't score again. Ben saves it this time at least. Yeah, 6 is all round. It's like 1 7.0 on it. Suso. Sasso even, sorry. Keep saying Suso for some reason. Don't know why. Even when, when I'm sort of thinking it myself when I'm not recording, I always say Suso. And it's clearly an A that's there. But everyone else is like mid to high, well, mid 6s really. And it's just not good enough from us. Barry Mackay with the corner, but it's a nothing highlight, it's just full time. Absolutely shambolic performance from us. Second half was a bit better, but yeah, Joey Barton's played his last game for us, I think. I couldn't even get him out on loan. That literally, that's how hard I tried. I just tried to get him out the club. Yeah, so there as you see, we've lost 3 points there, and we are now second in the league, 2 points behind Celtic and 2 points ahead of Kilmarnock. Still a good place to be at this time of the season. Board's only wanting European football next season, so I think we've got a chance of that. Well, we should be able to do that. I think we have improved the squad. We've certainly improved squad depth. I'm actually just going to put that like that. Kieran Wright is never going to get a game for this club. Again, I couldn't get rid of him. Clubs wanting Cammy Kerr on loan. That's not going to happen. I paid them the extra 200k to not send him on loan. Windass I'll maybe sell in January once Liam Burke comes back. Please tell me he's back in January. No, it's an end of season loan. Might still sell him because we've got Steven Skugel there, and to be honest, I've not really been impressed with him. And we've got Harrop there who can play that role as well. Overall, disappointing result today, but overall it's a positive situation. Anyway, that will be the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please give a like and subscribe, and I will hopefully catch you next time.